I recently lost my hardcore world, not because I died, but because I upgraded my computer and the files got corrupted. So in order to get my revenge on the cruel Minecraft gods, I started my new 1.20 hardcore world with the goal of creating some of the best builds I've ever made in Minecraft. So make sure you watch until the end, because this is one survival series you're not going to want to miss. Now, I plan to absolutely eat through this survival world, and the first thing on our dinner plate is gathering resources. What's up, dude? This mountain is where I want to build our starter base. Well, it's a mega base, but it's also our episode 1 starter base. So I guess what I want to build now is actually a pre-starter base? A starter base? I may be trying too hard. I'm to the point now where I'm building starter bases for my starter bases. Let's just get the supplies. Well, I have definitely spent more time on this than I needed to, but look at how cute it all turned out. We have everything we need to get us started, from a campfire to a tent for protection and even a pile of barrels for storage. And look, the barrels actually have some type of organization, something you all know I struggle with severely. There's one for foliage and food blocks, one for wood and log things, and another for our valuables, but we don't need to pay attention to how empty that one is right now. But speaking of valuables, now that we have iron armor, we are heading out to upgrade our protection once more by getting diamonds. And we're going to head to the nether to do some quartz mining so we can start enchanting. I told you I wanted to eat through this world, and we are definitely on track to do that. Time to do some enchanting. Let's see what we get. Efficiency 4 Unbreaking 3, not bad. Fortune 3, Efficiency 4, decent as well. And wow, that's a great one. Unbreaking 3, Efficiency 4, Silk Touch. That's pretty close to perfect. I think that was probably the quickest upgrade from iron to diamond I've ever had. And yes, I know this chestplate doesn't have the best enchantments, but hey, we've made progress and we're a lot more protected now. And speaking of protection, something that would really help us with enchanting to improve our armor and kind of just help us out in general is that one zombie spawner we found earlier. I want to quickly turn it into an XP farm, which honestly shouldn't take that long, and then go all the way. Oh my god. Well, that was almost the end of the series. And then we need to pay a little visit to the village down in the valley to attempt to get a mending trader. Definitely looking forward to placing lecterns for an hour straight. I've been gathering resources from lots of different biomes for a good handful of hours now, and now that we have mending on our tools and an XP farm to keep them healed, we can begin to build our true starter base. I'm going to be calling this build the Sunset Castle. You'll see why in a little bit. I think it's really cool. And a quick shout out to a fellow YouTuber named Zenith who introduced me to a really cool website called HueBlocks. If you guys are looking to get any kind of cool gradients incorporated into your builds, this is definitely the website to go to. I highly recommend checking it out. But anyways, I have lots of building to do, so we best get on with it. So this is what I've got done so far, and although it looks insanely cool, we are nowhere near being done. We have a lot of more building to do, and then we are going to quickly and casually fight the Ender Dragon. With the Ender Dragon defeated, we inch ever closer to dominating this world on episode 1. And the next step in that journey consists of building 3 essential farms. The first is the Creeper Farm, which will help us gather gunpowder for rockets since we now have an elytra, and it will also help us to later collect TNT for netherite mining. The Iron Farm will give us, well, iron, which can be used for a number of useful things, and the sugarcane farm will give us sugar for potions and paper, both for rockets and villager trading. And if you're a long-time subscriber, you'll know that I have type 1 diabetes, so the sugar farm really holds a particularly strong grip on my heart. I have special plans for that specific build later down the road, and in addition to that, whoa. Hold on a second. How is the video catching up with the script? That doesn't even make any sense. I couldn't possibly rip through this series any faster. Could I? No. No, I can't. This editing is going to kill me. My typing blistered fingers have stained my keyboard red. Funny enough, it's the same color red as that big nice subscribe button, although I guess now it's white because modernization. But you should press it. In fact, did you know every time someone subscribes to me, a diabetic gets his cookie? Pretty crazy stuff. But what's even crazier is that we still have 4 farms to build. We're only going to get 3 of them done today, but hey, that's 75%, so I'll take it. I mean, I passed all of school on 75%, so I have a pretty good track record with that number. We need to quickly whip up a cobblestone generator. We're going to need a lot of stone and stone variant blocks for the foundation of our castle, so this is definitely a must-have. And with that, we'll never need to go stone mining again. I mean, this little thing is super efficient. But speaking of efficiency, it's time to stop oogling at our creation and start building the next farm, a slime farm. The slime balls are going to be essential for large redstone projects in the future, so having this will save a lot of time. And speaking of redstone builds, now that we have access to endless slime balls, we can build the last farm we will be working on today, the bone meal farm. Okay, wow, this thing is really efficient. I was not at all expecting these kind of rates. Famous last words. You know, I guess I spoke too soon. I was AFKing at the bone meal farm, and there was a power outage in my house. My game crashed, and now the bone meal farm doesn't work properly because it crashed when I had those chunks loaded and was AFKing at it. I literally spent 3 hours on this. Why does this happen to me? Whatever, I'll have to fix it later. Anyway, the 4th farm I was going to build was a mangrove tree farm, but we're running out of time for the video and I'm lazy. So I just ripped an entire mangrove swamp out of the ground, and I'm just going to hope and pray that that will be enough wood to get us through the build. There's only one small step left before we start to build the Sunset Castle, and by small step, I mean a giant leap for mankind that could potentially destroy our entire world. And that's downgrading our game version. You see, I designed the finished base in a creative world beforehand in order to make sure everything was organized and to calculate what resources I needed, and so I used Lightmatica. And I was also going to use Lightmatica to help me build. That way I could do everything layer by layer and it would go more efficiently. But at the time of recording this video, Lightmatica is not out for 1.20. So we have to temporarily downgrade our world to 1.19.4, which downgrading your worlds is never recommended. So I'm pretty nervous. But without doing this, we're not going to be able to build our base. So we're just going to have to downgrade the world, make sure we load as little chunks as possible, and go from there. Okay, moment of truth. Let's make sure we back up the world first. And let's load it up. Okay. Alright, I think we're good. Nothing appears to be wrong. Okay, the netherite trim we had on our armor is gone. So, I mean, that's a pretty... Netherite, that's a decent loss, honestly. I'm assuming that probably the armor template things that we found as well are probably gone. I mean, I could cheat them back in, but this is hardcore. I'm not doing that. But other than that, I think we're all right. So let's begin building. It goes without saying that I am very happy with our castle. Granted, the majority of the build isn't even done. We still have a lot to do in the interior especially, and we have to blend the castle into the mountain with rock work. But so far it looks fantastic, especially with shaders. I mean, the colors blend perfectly. This is exactly what I envisioned. As for the structure itself, we have plenty of towers to build in, maybe make some automatic farms and shove them in there. A courtyard area that I think I'm going to turn into some sort of garden, or maybe put a giant map on the floor, kind of like Game of Thrones, if you know what I'm talking about. And that the top area here is going to be home to something really special, but you have to wait and see for that one. This was fun, and everything looks great. But I still have a ton of work to do, so back to the grind it is.